Hey guys, welcome back to HBI Auto. Today we're going to do a review, or more of a comparison between the GTC4 Lusso and the FF. So these are two of Ferrari's, more family-friendly vehicles. The FF came in production in 2011, ran through 2016. Then the GTC4 Lusso came through in 2016, ran through 2020. There's been kind of a gap, but waiting on Ferrari to release the new SUV. I won't produce the name because I'm not sure I'll pronounce it. I know I'll probably butcher it. But anyways, so there's a big debate on these cars, and which one should you go with if you're looking for this, more of a daily driver or to carry a family around in. So I'm gonna go through today and kind of give my personal opinion on the two cars and what I think is the pros and cons to both. So the FF, they're very similar as far as look wise. I personally think that the Lusso is more a refined look and a more mature look. The both cars came with the V12 up front. The GTC has, I think, like 30 more horsepower, pretty similar performance wise. The FF's four-wheel drive system had some issues and it wasn't quite right yet. I feel like they fixed those main issues on the GTC car. This feels more like a prototype, and this is more like the production in my eyes. The FF does have a better sound quality. I would do kind of a comparison, but this car has that as a straight pipe on the FF, so it is very loud. The FF has that more rich V12 tone, and then the 4 Lusso is more quiet, more family friendly. The reason why I think they did that was because if you sat in the back of the FF and you were a passenger and they drive down the road, the drone's pretty bad even from factory in that car. You can ride in the back of the Lusso, it's quiet. The next comparison video is going to be on the Datsun 280Z and the Ferrari F8 Tributo. They're pretty similar vehicles. It's just a newer model of that, so that'll be the next one. So basically on the exterior, there's not, looks are subjective. They're very similar cars. Some of the main differences are the side vents. This has more of just an indentation that's a little more aggressive, the side vents. Everything else is pretty much the same. The rear ends went from like on the California, dual on both sides. A little more aggressive rear diffuser, I feel like, on the Lusso. Kind of more scrunched up on the Lusso, but like I said, looks are subjective. You can't go wrong either way there. I think the main differences with these cars is more or less in the interior. There's some debate on, which is better, and that kind of depends on your personality, what you'll want out of the car. And a lot of people prefer these seats in the FF. They're pretty thick still, kind of more of a traditional Ferrari, style. A lot of comfort in these. A little heavier, but like I said, this is a family car, so that's not really. Infotainment center, some people like, the simple and the old style, and Ferrari's known to be kind of lacking when it comes to technology as far as this goes. Personally, we'll get the Lusso. Personally, I like the Lusso more because it's a little more modern. Steering wheel, you have majority of your controls on here. Very similar to like a 458. It's the same, model range. Sticky button's still an issue, as you can see on this one. Cup holder wise, you have kind of weird situation here. There's basically like two small cup holders and a big cup holder. I don't get it personally. It just seems kind of funky. I wish they would just had one single or two right there. Center console is pretty straightforward. You don't really have any USB connections or anything in here. Your 12 volts sitting up front. You have a little bit of storage there, but once again, no USB spot there. You have a storage compartment here that has the USB in there. This is, I guess, for more registration and stuff like that. Typical vent pods. Yeah, there's not much going on in here. This car does not have the pano roof. I think is an option on this one. I know on the GTC is an option. In the rear, you have the two AC vents there for your rear passengers. Two small, once again, cup holders. Not much room there. But the thing about like these cars is they do have a lot of headroom, which is extremely nice. Legroom's not bad either. I'm 6 foot, I like to say more like 5'11", but I have plenty of room back there myself. But yeah, this interior is basically the same thing you're going to get on a 458, minus, the 458 has all the radios and everything controls in the cluster. It's like I said, it's pretty simple. There's nothing too crazy about it. I think it's dated personally, compared to the Lusso. So yeah, everything here is kind of typical. Like in the 458s, it has the the strip going across with the buttons like that. Same paddle shifters as common on 458. But what's about the GTC? I'm more kind of familiar with that car, and to me, it's the the better of the interiors and what I prefer. All right, so now we're in the Lusso, and this is where I personally think that it shines at. So you have a a bigger infotainment center, which has it's nothing special. It's just, to me, it's a cleaner. We can look at it and it's just a cleaner, more, everything's touch controlled, nothing crazy. It actually almost looks similar to like an Audi style. I know it's not, but to me it has everything you need. It is kind of annoying sometimes to the comfort system through here, as far as your seat heating and cooling is controlled through here, but there is a button on your seat itself that you can control that on, so it's not a huge ordeal. Also, considering console wise, this is all covered up, so it's really nice. When you need the space, opens up, and then you have a cup holder here. And then, something I think is really cool, and it should be done more in these cars. I know people say it's exotic, you don't need a cup holder, yada, yada, yada. It drives me nuts. So you see the indentation up here, which was like you can put a cup there. But if you just flip this over, now you have 2 cup holders, which I think is an awesome thing. And, personally, I need that. In the center here, you have 2 USB ports, your 12 volt, everything there. Once again, glove box, not a ton of room, but it's there. A little storage compartment there for, like I said, it's maybe for registration or anything like that. Another cool thing on this car is the center vent is right here, and when the car is off, it's closed. You have power to the car, it slowly opens up, and there's your center vent. So like I was telling you on the FF, the steering wheel has, it's pretty similar to the 458 and so on and so forth. It has motion controls there. Same thing with this. It's a newer style. Paddles are much bigger on here. It's a flat bottom, which is what's going to prefer what you prefer. Your wipers, your turn signals, your headlights, everything is on the steering wheel on this car. There's no knobs, nothing like that, no toggles. The only thing that's going to be on here is for you to adjust your steering wheel. Cars are going forward, backward, up and down. Same thing for the rear. Still the 2 small cup holders here, 2 vents, and then some center storage that also has 2 USB ports. The seats in this car are a little more sporty, a little more thin. I prefer it personally. The hatch of these cars, when you want to load something up or whatever, you normally on most cars you can just pick a button down here. FF does not have that. You actually have to either use the key or come inside and on the full board from the gas, pop it up in that way. Now, once again, since this is kind of the more modern and refined car on the Lusso, right in the center, there's a button to open it, which I think is kind of a must and very strange that that car does not have that. Cargo space pretty similar. You can see on here the plaque on what all options are on the car. Really cool. You have your cargo cover here. That's just a simple removal like that, and another cargo cover here, but not a lot of space, but there's enough space to put some luggage or groceries or whatever. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it for today. Pretty short, brief, a very opinionated comparison video. I think both these cars are awesome cars. The FF has always been a personal favorite of mine. Sound is phenomenal, but I think for me personally, I like the more modern amenities to the cars. I like how this is more tame, more daily drivable. When I'm looking for a vehicle like this, it's going to be in addition to a fun car. So I'm not exactly looking to have all in one package. So for me, the Lusso is one of the best all-around Ferraris, ever. The F12, I've always loved the F12, but I do have a daughter and I have one more on the way. So having the ability to drive something like this and take her with me is a huge plus, and the reason why the 911s are so great because there's a back seat. If you have any questions on these cars, or they're actually both for sale, please reach out to us. There should be a link in the bio to both of these. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.